All right. How's everybody doing today? Because I know I'm doing very well. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. And today, I actually want to talk about why I believe that the modern day woman is destroying the home. And I did not mess up on the title. And by the way, quick shout out to Volt Tackle for this comment here. Hold on. Where is it? Where you at, Volt Tackle? You said that I didn't know how to make a title, I think you said. Here we go. He says I can't even get a title right now. Well, Volt Tackle, I think you're called, right? The only reason I don't block you right now is because I wanted to show people how dumb you are. Oh, my title is just fine, trust me. And we'll get into that. But before I actually get into my topic today, what I do want to get into in a moment is to briefly talk about the Burnt Toast video channel visit that I did today. First and foremost, on a positive, how you doing? All right. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate Burnt Toast for having a mind of her own. I'll say that much about her. For thinking for herself. For, I don't know, having the courage to have somebody come in here and question her. Because if you didn't see my video yesterday, I pretty much completely and utterly pulverized the reaction community yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. When I completely destroyed them on the issue about blind faith. I mean, these people don't want to be challenged. And these people want you just to believe them because they said it. Like I said, 90% of the, well, not 90%. 90%, well, 98% of what they say about me isn't true. And most of the Christian community knows this now. The only people that believe it is the people, ironically enough, that's going out there claiming that you need evidence to believe the things that you believe. Yeah, right. So yeah, quick shout out to Burnt Toast, even though she got destroyed today. At least I think she did, because I was bringing up valid points. She corrected me a little bit today. Congratulations, Burnt Toast. That's rare. Where you got me on the Jimmy Dean drink and her actually giving it to Rev. I'm gonna have some words for those guys a little bit later because of that, because I didn't know that happened. And while those are adults and they can do whatever they want, they're gonna have to do it with somebody else's money because they won't be with mine. So just want to put that out there. So shout out to Burnt Toast. Burnt Toast is gonna claim she did all these things on her YouTube channel and she beat me and all. Yeah, whatever. Anybody watching that show know that she struggled, know that she stuttered, know she got caught in multiple lies on her stream. So let's just keep it there. All right. What else I want to say about that? What else did I want to say? Concerning Burnt Toast. Oh yeah, this is one of the other things I wanted to point out. I noticed that when these reaction people see, and like I said, this piggybacks off of what I said yesterday with these reaction people not wanting to be challenged. You see, they have no problem coming on YouTube and dot dropping people, revealing people's personal information. No problem whatsoever doing that kind of stuff. No problem reviewing people's information and all this other stuff and whatnot. The moment I found out, and by the way, everybody in their reaction community, for what I know, at least the people that matter anyway, all of you guys have been exposed by somebody on YouTube that you think I don't have possessions of those videos. Burnt Toast face is on those videos. Her name is on that video. And like I said, the reaction people are ticking a lot of people off. And you'd be surprised what's dropping in my lap these days. But she tried to argue, well, she's a minor, and if you try to put that on your channel, then they can flag your channel, and your channel can be No, that's not how it works. And I like I said, I smelled her fear thousands of miles away from her. I was smelling her fear that she wants to have a YouTube channel where she can attempt to destroy somebody's life from the safety of her bedroom and don't want to have to deal with reality when people want to respond. And I honestly don't care about their threats. If I want to make a YouTube video, I'm going to make a YouTube video, and you all know it. So And I've demonstrated how far I'm willing to go. Do not play with me. And it's as simple as that. And with that being said, I'm going to get to the title of this video. I just wanted to mention a couple of things about the burnt toast thingy. I don't know. I might drop by her YouTube channel again. It depends. Like I said, I'm only interested in going in there when I believe that certain questions need to be presented, because of if they're not allowing people. Let me tell you guys something. You know, you're dealing with a cult leader, or you're dealing with somebody who's in a con job thingy or whatever, or they're trying to deceive people when they don't want to defend the things that they're saying. I'm actually going to talk about that on my G podcast on Monday a little bit when I get the opportunity, because there's a whole bunch of things, ways you can recognize a person who's lying to you. But anyway, so I want to get to the content of the actual video. Just want to talk about burnt toast real quick, and we're going to do that. So what was Adam's sin? Yeah, Adam ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? There are people out there who believe that that it was not a tree, and that it was a person, and that Eve had sex with the serpent. It's the serpent seed doctrine. That's what some people out there believe. That's a false teaching. It is not true. The Bible says that Adam ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The Bible tells us that Eve gave Adam the fruit to eat, and Adam did it. And because of Adam's sin, all of us are suffering. Notice it doesn't say what Eve did. The Bible says that the serpent beguiled Eve. But it's because of what Adam did while we're all suffering right now. And a lot of you are dead in your trespasses and sins because you don't want to, accept the Redeemer. You don't want to accept the Savior, Jesus Christ. But what Adam did in the garden and what we see going on, what Adam did in the garden, we see on steroids today. Let me ask you guys a question in the live chat here real quick, and I'll acknowledge it, because I don't like usually engaging with it, and I'm only going to talk to serious people. I'm talking to the people on here who actually can identify with the things that I'm talking about on here. Because I know a lot of you guys on who's watching me right now ain't nothing but a bunch of sissies. You ain't no real men. You wouldn't know how to speak up for yourself if you were the last man on earth. All right. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the guys who are concerned about the things that I'm going to talk about in this video here today. Okay. How many of you are real men in this live chat? Please hit number 1 if you consider yourself to be a real man. Because when you answer that, when you say that you're a real man, I got a question for you real quick. Because you should know you should know the answer to it. All right. Hit number 1 if you consider yourself to be a real man. Ladies, you might get a little offended by this, but I think a lot of you ladies are gonna appreciate some of the things that I'm gonna say in this video. I think some of you will. I don't think all of them will, because some of these ladies who are watching me are feminists. So, and y'all already know how I feel about that. So we got a few people on here who identifies as being real men, right? Okay, so how do you define a real man? How do you define a man? What's the difference between a man and a boy? You guys want me to interact with you guys in the live chat, you got to start typing. What is the difference between a man and a boy? When do you reach manhood? In our modern day world, all you got to do is turn 18. Then you're considered a young man, right? When you hit 21, that's when everybody considers you to be a man. But in historically speaking, when do you become a man? Somebody says a male human who fears God. I like that answer. Buddy from the outside chat says I'm the head of a household. I'm a man. So you guys don't got a definition, but you're giving me things that men do. Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Buddy from the outside chat kind of already, talked about how he's the head of the house, and there are certain roles that the head of the house is supposed to do. But before we get to that, I want y'all to think about this for a moment, because I think this is a great example of what I want to get into today about structure. Think about a pride real quick, about the lion pride. You have a male lion and you have other males. It might be teenagers or juveniles or whatever, or cubs or whatever, right? Whatever they call the lions. You have the lioness, okay? And and like I said, you got the alpha, the so-called king, the one that's in charge of all of the females and the pride in general. And they make up the pride. If an intruder attempts to come and mate with the females or tries to harm anyone in the pride, it is the male's job to defend the pride. Now, I'm not saying that the lionesses are a bunch of slouches, because the lionesses are usually the ones that go out there and hunt. But when they hunt and they kill the and they, let's say they go out there hunting for a deer or an impala or whatever, and they catch it and they begin to, you know, eat or whatever, the first person that's going to eat first is a lot of times is going to be the male. Because again, he's the alpha. He's the one that's defending the pride. He's the one that's risking his life every single day to make sure that the pride's okay and everything. And yet the lionesses are the ones that's going out there hunting and making sure that the pride has something to eat. If somebody in that unit doesn't do their job, the pride doesn't work. I'm gonna say this again. If somebody in that unit doesn't do their job, the pride doesn't work, right? I think a lot of you are following me here, right? It's the same thing with the home. Okay. Once we establish that a person is the head of the house, we'll use Buddy from the outside chat here for a moment. I'll put that there so he can't say he didn't say it. Once you establish that you are the head of the house, that you are the man, that you are the provider of your home, and that whatever you agree to with your wife, the role that she's going to have, and then the children have their role. As long as that unit is doing what they're supposed to do, you have a strong home. If that unit is not doing what they're supposed to do, you don't have a strong home. I use this example all the time when I'm talking about these topics. If if 3 people broke into your home and you had children, Buddy from the outside chat, and you had relatives over and they were laying down or whatever, who's going to defend your home? Are you going to send your wife while you hide under the bed? Or are you going to do it? Yes or no? You're going to defend your home. We've been through this before, right? You're going to defend your home, right? What are you going to have the wife and kids do? You're going to have them go out there and fight the intruder? Absolutely not. They're probably going to be hiding up under the bed. Now, you see what happened right there? Right now, I just sounded like a male chauvinist pig when I said that. Right now, I sounded like a male chauvinist pig because I suggested that the man is supposed to defend his castle. He's supposed to defend his home, that he's supposed to provide for his family. Because a lot of these women who have gone rogue have decided to say, we don't need no men. A lot of these women have decided to go rogue and decided that they can do the same thing that we can do. And believe that we need to take a step back. And a lot of these women should be in the roles that we're in. How do you think it's going to affect the home? I don't recommend you do this, but it would be kind of funny if 4 or 5 guys, big buff guys, broke into the home and the wife told you to hide underneath the bed thinking she's going to come back in one piece. Even if she has a gun, one of the guys is going to try to charge her and another one's going to, I mean, God knows what they're going to do to her. But they see a guy is a little bit different. It's just nature. But what's going on in our society today, a lot of these women out here are trying to usurp our roles as men. Okay? Some of them are even suggesting that women play in the NBA, that women play in the NFL. They want the NBA to take the profits that they're getting and to take that money and give it to the WNBA, which I'm going to tell you right now is absolutely boring. I would rather go to a schoolyard and watch a bunch of 15-year-olds play basketball than to watch that boring garbage that they're putting on in the WNBA. I can't name 5 people in the WNBA. I can't name 3 people in the WNBA. I don't even think I can name one, to be perfectly honest. I can name 2 or 3 teams, and that's about it. But don't ask me who actually plays in that league and what's going on. I have no idea who won their NBA finals. It's boring. I don't watch that trash. But they want the men they want the NBA to take their money and give it to the WNBA, right? The women want the same pay when we go do construction work. You know what I mean? You know, all the guys going out there picking up 1,000 pounds and all doing all this work, breaking their backs and everything. And all she doing is, oh, my nail. I broke my nail. And they want to go out there and they want to spackle the wall. They did a whole wall. Congratulations. Good for you. Good for you. You did a whole wall. And you want to get paid the exact same thing that I get paid? Are you serious? Are you serious? You know what I mean? Then on top of that, they want to say that men are not leaders, that men are not leaders in the home, that the woman and the man, that they're equal. They want to sit there and they want to say that we're equal and that the roles should be the same. And when we're and then when they're raising their children, what they want to do is they want to say, well, as a mother, I can be the father. Not only can I nurture them, not only can I love them, but I can be masculine with them too. And I can teach my boy how to be a man. No disrespect, mothers. You will never be able to teach your children how to be men. You can teach them how to be sissies, but you will never be able to teach them how to be men. Never. You'll teach them how to be a little bit on the feminine side, but you will never be able to teach them how to be men. They're going to learn that when they get out, when they find a male role model that they can follow, which is what they're desperately seeking for. Probably too scared to tell you that, but that's what they're doing. So you got these women that's going out there saying that, oh, I can do the same things that you. No, you can't. Just like I can't do the same thing that she does. I can't have no baby, for starters. I can't get pregnant and have no baby. Like I said, I'm talking to the real people out there. I'm not talking to these people out there saying, well, technically, G-Man, you can if you go get a surgery. I'm talking about everything natural. Nobody's talking about the other stuff, all right? Can't have no baby. I'm not very good at nurturing. I'm not very good at oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. No one does that better than a woman. No one does that better than a mother. In the same way that when it's time for this boy to learn some responsibility, especially if they talk to their old man. Because there are different roles. There are different roles in that relationship in which you're going to raise a family in your home. You see, I'm about to say something that's going to make a lot of you mad, but it's just true. You ain't going to get a super successful person because they have, how can I put this? Two of the same pronouns. I'll put it to you that way. Not opposite pronouns. If they're two of the same pronouns, they're not raising no complete child. It ain't happening. But this is what they're talking about that they can do. You can have mommy over here and you can have mommy over here, and you're going to be a tough little boy when you grow up. You're going to be just like Mike Tyson when you learn how to go into boxing. No, you're not. No, you are not. No, you're not. You need a mommy and you need a daddy in order to be complete. Period. You need the woman to help you with the emotions. You need the man to help roughen you up. But like I said, my number one thing is, like I said, this toxic feminism that's going out there, and they're trying to like degrade men, try to get them to be more emotional, cry more, show their emotional side, try to get them to be more like them instead of actually being more like a man. They really feel that if they can get you to get more in touch with your emotions, that is going to cause you to go out there and provide for your family. Where am I going with this? Why is it that men today can't sit back and tell a woman no? Why is it that men today can't sit back and tell these women, look, this is how it's going to be. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. That's not being controlling. That's taking lead. That's taking the lead. That's being a leader. Listen, I don't care what you think. I'm going to take this money. I'm going to pay the bills and I'm going to buy some food. And if you don't like it, oh, well. Oh, well. Being a leader is not a popularity contest. And a lot of you guys out there, man, some of you guys are just some GP. I'm talking to you right now, dude. Some of you guys are straight up divas, wimps. You need to pull your pants up, man up, and start speaking up for yourself. Let me get Buddy from the outside chat thingy off there. A lot of men don't want to speak up. A lot of men are allowing these women to walk all over them. Like for example, for those of you who if the shoe fits, wear it. We need to change your name from Dave to Welcome Matt. We need to change your name from Ben to Welcome Matt. We need to change your name from Robert to Welcome Matt, because you don't know how to speak up for yourself and you don't know how to say no. You don't know how to take charge. You don't know how to say, this is how it's going to be, the end. And the reason why this is the case is a lot of men are submitting to their women, doing a fine job, acting like a woman and not acting like a man. And there are several people on YouTube that I can say this to. Several of them. Because I've heard them talk about this topic. And like I said, GP's one of them. He's one of them, but there's a whole bunch of other people too that I can say this to. And I have said something to about. But I don't have the stats and the figures with me. But I have to get this research that I got to show you. But a lot more men is being shown to have less testosterone and is actually having more estrogen in their blood. And there aren't a lot of men no more that's acting like the rugged guys like you had back in the days of John Wayne and Clint Eastwood and people like that and whatnot. You know what I mean? Today you got a lot of these sissies out here going, yes, dear, yes, dear, yes, dear. Listen, guys, I'm just gonna stay here and I'm gonna do the dishes. I'm gonna mop the floor, and my wife's gonna go to work. And I'm just gonna stay here, and I'm gonna get in touch with my feminine side, and I'm just gonna and that's what a lot of these men are doing. They're sitting back and allowing their women, letting their bosses, I'm going to put it to you that way, we're talking about women, I'm going to temporarily call them bosses, allowing their bosses to walk all over them, dictate what's going to go on in the home. By the way, any prospective women interested in me, pay attention to this. That ain't me, and it will never be me. I don't play those games. Real man, old school. Don't play those games, okay? But anyway, you got a lot of these women trying to get men to get in touch with their feminine side, trying to get them to fight less, watch less sports, because you got more and more men saying, I don't watch sports. I don't watch football. I don't watch basketball. I think sports is boring. I don't watch sports. I'm in a reading club. I watch women do nails. We're starting to see a rise in men working at beauty salons to do women's hair. We see a lot of them losing their masculine voices. We see a lot of this stuff going on, primarily because of their attitude of allowing the woman to dictate things. Now, spiritually speaking, for those of you who are Christians, we already know the deal. We know that Satan desires to flip everything on his head. They want the woman to be the head, and they want the man to be the one that takes on the woman role. He wants to flip everything. He wants to corrupt everything that's about God. You know what I mean? In order for the communists to change the things in this country, they have to destroy the home. It's in their, I think it's in their communistic manifesto. They have to destroy the home. They have to push feminism in order to get their communistic society. They have to. Little bitch, you can call this stupid all you want, dude. You're the person that I'm talking about here. You're one of them. You ain't no man. You act like a woman when you get on here. You look like a woman. You behave like a woman and you act like a woman. You don't act like no man, dude. All right? You act extremely feminine when you're dealing with these conversations. You sit back, you get your little piece of paper, and you go, oh, I mean, you said G-Man, you said G-Man, and you said G-Man, and you said G-Man, and you said... And Todd, you ain't no different. You act like a woman too, Todd. You don't act like no man. You don't behave like no man. You can't speak up for yourself. You don't speak up for yourself. All of you guys just accept everything that happens to you. You don't speak up. you have no opinions regarding the people in your own community. Carnivorous Eight's another one. He acts like a diva. You don't act like no man. And as long as this continues to happen, our homes are going to get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Men are supposed to be the people that make the final decisions. I know a lot of you don't like it. Tough tamales. I have to watch myself on that one. Because that ain't what I say in my personal life. Tough tamales. Tough tamales. Men are supposed to be making the final decisions, especially those people that you're married to, or you're in a serious relationship with. Women are supposed to be submitting, especially if you ain't working anywhere. Especially if you're not working anywhere. You don't get to dictate where the money goes if you're not doing anything. You don't get to dictate those things. The man does what he's told by his woman. He doesn't lead by example. The man is doing what he's told by whatever woman that he's with, instead of actually disagreeing like they know they want to, and leading by example, because that person probably grew up with just a mom, didn't have a dad, didn't know how it looked to have a man disagree with a woman, do it properly, and then have that man lead by example. You guys can make jokes about me. You can laugh all you want. You can't refute nothing that I'm saying here today. Nothing. And a lot of you, the funny thing is, a lot of you agree with me. That's what's hilarious about it, but you're not going to admit it in this chat. You're not going to admit it in this chat. So that would go against your little pathetic agenda. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, just like Adam allowed his wife to get him to sin, allow Eve, well, actually, that was his wife, allow his wife to get him to sin against God, the same way a lot of these women are getting us to walk away from our headship. I'm going to tell you something, okay? This is how it's supposed to look. Ideally, anyway. I mean, it's hard to do it in this society with the economy the way it is, but ideally, this is the way it's supposed to be. The man's supposed to work. Work. Woman's supposed to stay home and take care of the house and take care of the kids. You're a male chauvinist pig. Oh my God, G-Man, why did you say that? You're a male chauvinist pig. Ideally speaking, that's what you want. You want the man working. And by the way, if any of you ladies disagree with me, I can set up a stream and we can talk about it. But ideally speaking, I mean, seriously, would you want a babysitter raising? Oh, I'm sorry, a lot of you are doing that anyway. Would you want a babysitter raising your kids? Do you want the government raising your kids? Do you want strangers raising your kids, or do you think that you should have your values pressed upon your kids? But sadly enough, in our society today, because of the bills and everything and whatnot, you got the man and the wife, you got the man and the woman working, and then strangers are raising the kids, destroying the home. Okay. And then when they finally do come home, because she works and he works, she has no respect for him. So she believes she can do the same things that he does in the same way that he does them. But he's still supposed to hold the door open. He's still supposed to take out the trash. He's supposed to do all these things. Right. That's why I love my Bible, man. I love my Bible. You know what I mean? Equal, but you got different roles in the home. The woman is supposed to take care of the home and take care of the children. The man is supposed to take care of the bills. The woman is supposed to take care of the home and the children. The man is supposed to take care of the bills. We see this in nature. Human beings are the only dummies that step away from this. With the exception of maybe a couple of animals where we see the male having a hand in raising their young. With the little few examples that's out there. The bottom line is the man's supposed to be working, woman's supposed to be home taking care of the kids. So that way you don't have other people's values being impressed on your kids. You know what I mean? So And like I said, Tatted Jedi's here. Tatted Jedi, every time I've been in the room with this guy, he doesn't act like a man. This is not a person that comes into a room and you just feel the testosterone. All you get with him is estrogen. One of the things that he can't do is very difficult for him to and not say nothing. Super hard for him to do that. Super hard for this guy to just shut up, listen, and then actually reply. Super difficult for him to do that. Acts like a total woman. I can tell that if he's married or if he gets married, his woman's walking all over him. All over him, stepping on him, walking on him, putting the mud on him and everything. He does what he's told, not the other way around. They don't have no partnership. It's either you listen to me or she's going to leave you. And that's another thing that annoys me today, that a lot of these guys say they don't know how to dump nobody, right? We got this mentality in our minds that if she dumps us, our whole world is going to end. I don't know. Last time I checked, there's more women on this planet than there are men. Trust me, there are plenty of people out there. But we've conditioned ourselves to believe that if we leave, or if she leaves us, our whole planet's gonna just go boom or whatever. That's ridiculous. It's an interesting comment here that somebody puts. The G-man who listens to your orders, aren't you single? Number one, Mandy Momo, I think your name is. I'll keep your comment there so everybody can see it. My relationship life or whatever is private. I don't talk about it on YouTube no more, primarily because of your community. Your community only wants information to harm people, not to help anybody. I've learned that over the last few years here online. Okay. The only people that are helping anybody online are people who either believe in God or Christians. You can say what you want about us, but we're not going out there telling people to starve. That's your community doing that. So the male role doesn't just exist in the home. The male role exists in any form of environment. Okay. I don't care what nobody say. Even if a woman is your boss, when you walk in that room, your boss is going to know the difference between her and you. She obviously has a authority role. So she can tell you, look, for the betterment of the business, you got to do this, this, and this. But at the end of the day, she's never going to violate that personal. How can I put this? She's never going to violate the natural law that she's a woman and you're a man. She won't do that. Not if she's smart. That's like a lioness challenging a lion, a male lion. That would be dumb. Because he'll kill her and the cubs. All right? That's just me giving it an example. But the thing that a lot of you atheists aren't getting and understanding, like I said, naturally speaking, there is a difference between a man and there is a difference between a woman. Just because you have authority over a man does not mean, because you have queens that have authority, you have Congress people, you have some countries. I assume there's been a female president in one of these other countries or whatever. I gotta look into that. I don't know. But you have had them like Cleopatra being the pharaoh of Egypt. Even they understand that there's a big difference between the role of a woman and the role of a man. One of the most fun things I like to do with women to remind them about this is this. All right. Garbage night, well, whether it be garbage night, let's say you got to go, that you're going to go traveling or something like that. And you know how women are. They put everything in the whole world inside of their travel bags or whatever, right? They don't know how to pack light. They got to bring everything with them. And those bags be weighing like 50, 60, sometimes 100 pounds and whatnot, depending on where you're going, especially if you're going overseas, all right? They don't think about how much all that stuff's going to cost. They just assume you're going to pay for it, right? So these bags would be really heavy and whatnot. And then they think that you're automatically supposed to pick them up. And they have this feministic mentality. One of the things that I'm real quick, and I do it at work, I do it at any other place. When something is too heavy and you tell me that you and I are the same, We're equal, same roles and all that other stuff and whatnot. And then it's time for you to and it's time for you to pick up them bags. Guess what? You're gonna pick up those bags until you admit that there's a difference. I have done this very cruelly at a Greyhound. I've done this in various scenarios, and I've gotten them to admit you're not as strong as I am. You're not as rough and tough as I am. I tell them, look, I'm built to go through all this other stuff and whatnot. You're not. Stay here. I'll go through this. Like, for example, if you had a man and you had a woman and they were you had a man and you had a woman and you had to sleep outside, right? And you had a tent and only one person could fit in it. I'm letting the woman sleep in the tent and I'm sleeping outside. You want to know why? That's not me being polite. I can handle the harsh. Let me get this light out of my face. I can handle the harshness of the environment because I'm built to do it. Women are not. Women aren't built to take the punishment that we men can take. Let me. This sun behind me is really annoying. Let me push this over here. There we go. Yeah. So, and like I said, you got a lot of guys. If you read my chat right here, there's a lot of men here arguing against the things that I'm saying. You can tell that those people are nothing but a bunch of punching bags. That these people over here are going to say and do whatever pleases their woman, and they're not going to express their own opinions and whatnot. And what I recommend people like Teddy Jedi to do, Todd Malacote to do, Lubis to do, what I recommend guys like you do is go watch an old John Wayne flick, or maybe go watch a Dirty Harry or something like that, or go watch any video where they're trying to display what a man is supposed to be, because that is what you're not doing with your life and what you're displaying here on YouTube. Again, you're displaying how a man who's been conquered by a woman is supposed to act. In Africa, do you know how they go about determining if you're a man? When you reach, well, actually, not in Africa today. This was Africa, I would say, during the times of the transatlantic slave trade and before. In Africa, the way they determined whether or not you could become a man is that you was given a knife, you was given a hut, and you had to provide for yourself. You have to go out and get your food yourself. Mom and dad wasn't going to do it for you no more. You had to go out there and find a way to get your own food, because you ain't no man if you can't do that. I'm going to say this again. If you cannot provide for yourself, you are not a man. If you cannot provide for yourself, you are not a man. If you're too lazy to go get a knife, and I mean this metaphorically, I'm not talking about literally. So for those who have ears to hear, let them hear. All right. If you have a knife and you want a knife and you know that there are wild animals outside and you're hungry enough, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna go get your own food. Then after you do that, you're gonna make your own coats by taking the skin off of that animal, doing whatever it is that you need to do to use it as a coat or a blanket or whatever. The one thing that you're not going to do is constantly go to everybody going, can I spare a quarter? Can I have this? Can I have that? At some point, you got to be able to provide for yourself. And a lot of men are not doing that. A lot of men. This ain't no one guy or no two guys. This ain't just Todd and Luke. This is a lot of people who don't know how to do this. And it affects the home. Because what are you teaching the children? Oh, when you get older, the woman's always right. You're never right. There's no need for you to lead because both of you are the leaders. And when a burglar breaks into the house, just hide under the bed while she goes and defend everybody. You know what the funny thing about some of the things that you guys are saying in the chat? You guys are sitting there saying, "G-man, you're not married, so how are you going to talk about the role of a husband?" I'm going to cut my camera off because of this light in the back and it's really annoying me. Okay, so a lot of you are sitting there saying, "G-man, you're not married, so how can you say all these things and whatnot?" Right? Well, let me tell you guys a couple of things here. All right, believe it or not, there are Christians that make the same argument. All right, and it's usually a person who hasn't been saved very long. For those of you who don't know, haven't been in the church in a while, usually you're In a lot of the churches, you're divided between the what is it? Between the youth and the adults. The adults are usually the mature adults, and then you obviously got the people who are not married, so they consider you to be a youth or whatever, right? So they say that, well, what does a youth really know about being married? What do they know about like being a man? Well, I have my Bible and I can read about it. I've been in relationships, which is none of nobody's business on here. And I think I know a thing or two about it because I lead by example. I don't tell people, look, this is how you do something. I do it first, then I tell people to go do it. I ran 4 marathons. I'm working on my 5th. Nobody is waking me up every day saying, G-Man, you need to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go out there and do your and go out there and do your 10 miles before you go to work. Nobody's waking me up and telling me to do that. I do that on my own. Nobody's waking me up and telling me to do that. I go out there and do that on my own. That's what a real responsible person does. An irresponsible person sleeps all day, doesn't try to do anything to make anything better, and doesn't do the things that they got to do. Just because you're married doesn't make you a man. I want to put that comment there real quick. Put that there real quick so everybody can see this. Here we go. Todd says, I'm married right now. Big deal. And you get on YouTube and you act like a woman. You tell everybody, for example, Todd, let me be very specific about you so that you understand why I'm saying this. You get on here and you tell everybody that you got a seminary degree, but then you have another man challenging your manhood, like Veckel, telling you that he would like to have a debate with you on it, and you're like, well, no, I'm not going to do it. What's the point of going to school then? Because you ain't going to do nothing else with that degree. And by the way, Todd, you're in good company. There's a lot of men in your community who I've called out and said things about their wives. And you want to know what they did about it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And do you want to know why they didn't do nothing? Because they ain't no man. And they know precisely who I'm talking about. All right. So the bottom line is this. The home is in shambles because of this role reversal that's going on in the home. And that has to change. Men need to take care of their responsibilities and women need to take care of their responsibilities, and they need to do it according to whatever their purpose is. End of story. And if you don't agree with that, guess what? Welcome to the United States of America. You're allowed to disagree with me. I'm not forcing you to agree with me. I'm just telling you why I believe the world is the way it is right now. Well, why the home is the way it is right now, because of all this role reversal. If you're a man, act like you got a penis and act like you got a pair of testicles, and walk according to your calling. I mean, even nature understands this. Why is it that human beings don't? Feminism has gone too far. Women need to go back to submitting to the headship of a man. I'm going to say this again. Women needs to go back to submitting to the headship of a man. A lot of these atheists don't know what I'm talking about, and it's all fine and well. The Christians understand full well what I'm talking about. Some of you never been in a church a day in your life, so you don't have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'll try to break it down to you. The man is the leader. The man is the head of the home. He makes the final decisions. He is to be respected as being those things. If he is not doing what he's supposed to do, you're supposed to call him out on it. But through all of that, you're supposed to submit to his headship. I don't care if you guys sitting there saying that G-Man don't know what he's talking about. I'm talking to primarily an atheist audience that does not believe in Christianity. So you can say whatever you want. When Christians listen to this, it's going to be a different story. Buddy from the outside chat, why are you so interested in when the last time I was in church? Like I said, dude, I'm not telling you nothing about my personal life because every single time I talk about my personal life, you guys make a joke out of it. That is none of your business, buddy from the outside chat. That's my answer for you. Now, as a man, what you going to do with that? Nothing. What you're supposed to do is sit there and say, you know, I respect that. How about that? Wait a minute, Todd's attempting to use his seminary degree. Look at this. Those were Paul's opinions. Paul is not God. Well, Todd, I would love to have that discussion with you in an actual room, but we both know you're not going to do that because probably your wife is telling you to stop talking to me, and like a good old little she, you're gonna obey her. So whatever. Tatted Jedi says there are 4 people that respect you. Tatted Jedi, nobody respects you, dude. Nobody. Oh man. Oh boy, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Oh god, man. Tatted, I appreciate you coming to my channel, bro. I needed that, bro. That was a laugh right there. 4 people. No, Tatted Jedi, that sounds like your life, dude. And I think I know who all 4 people are. Miss Parker. Actually, I don't think Miss Parker likes you personally. Let me see something here. I would say your co-host. I don't think they like you either. Um, I think BGTV, he's a pretty good sellout. I think he likes you. Let me see. I think Gentleman Pioneer is learning to like you. But he actually just like you. Let me see. Can't think of nobody else, man. Sorry. No respectable atheist likes you. And by the way, Taddy, when you guys gonna have some real people come on your channel? I mean, if you guys are such superstars on here, when you guys gonna get some real people on your channels? That's what I want to know. Hey, J-Man, when was the last time you had? I don't want nobody on my channel. I don't want nobody talking, listening to you guys and reading the comments that you guys have on my channel. If I want to go on a superstar's channel, all I got to do is make a phone call. That's it. He's not in the mood for it. So for the ladies out there, if you want to stop, if you want men to be men and you want them to be real men and you want them to do the things that they got to do, cut off the umbilical cord. All right. Um, Stop trying to dictate every little thing that they do. Stop telling them to get in touch with their feminine side and allow them to do the things that needs to be done so that your house can be in order. If you don't do it, you don't get. And I'm talking to a lot of the urban women now. All right. You don't get to say that men ain't doing their jobs. You don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. Because it's people like you who refuse to submit and have that person feel like he's a man so he can go out there and be one. I don't care if you don't take my advice, little Miss Cindy. I don't care if you don't take my advice. You're, like I said, the majority of you watching are atheists. You guys only hate Christianity. I guarantee you, if my name was BGTV and I was saying the same thing, y'all be like, amen. So cut the baloney. I already know the deal. I'm still making my video here because I want to get these things off my chest. The same sin that happened in the Garden of Eden is going on today. Men don't know how to be men. They're bowing the knee to these women, and they don't know how to lead by example. They don't know. Well, all I'm looking at is an icon, so I'm going to have to disagree with you, little Miss Cindy. I don't know what you are. So the bottom line is this. And like I said, the people in this community who know me, have talked to me in private, met me in person, and I'm talking about people who met me longer than a couple of hours. I'm talking about people who spent real time with me. All right? All of you know what I'm talking about. All of you know what I'm talking about. Wobo Tackle, you know, if this is how you see me, let me remedy something for you. You don't gotta watch. You don't gotta leave a comment either. You don't gotta leave a comment. You can go watch somebody else's channel where you hear people saying men act like a woman. Because that's what you're advocating right now, Volt Tackle. You're advocating for men to act like females. And we both know that's not what you advocate for. Okay? But since you want to be a jerk, I'll unblock you tomorrow when you'll be able to leave a comment and let you use the sock account. I'll be a clown. I'll be a bum on the street. I'll be whatever you guys want me to be. But at the end of the day, when you talk to me, you ever meet me in person, remember this. I am not a woman. I am a man filled with testosterone. And this is YouTube. You meet me in person, please understand you're talking to another man. You know what I mean? So, see what Tatted Jedi said there? He says, oh, little guy getting mad. No, Tatted Jedi, I'm not getting mad. Tatted Jedi, let me ask you something. What are the signs that a person is getting mad as opposed to a person who is demonstrating passion? Can you please use some of that so-called college education that you have to break that down for me, sir? You can't. So anyway, let me be even more specific, okay? Let me be even more specific. And I want to talk to the guys here. I don't want to talk to the women no more. I want to talk to the guys. We wouldn't have to deal with the whole child support issue. We as men, and I'm talking about men universally. I don't pay child support, but I'm just saying that I don't have to pay child support or nothing like that. But I'm talking about universally. But the child support system wouldn't exist. The welfare system wouldn't exist. A lot of these systems that they have would not exist if we as men were doing our job. So if we men were doing our job, these things wouldn't exist. Now we know that these communists are trying to get us to be solely dependent on the government so the government can be treated as God. But the bottom line is at the end of the day, man, we gotta hold down the fort. Sometimes our women give us bad decisions. They give us bad advice. And you have to learn how to open up your mouth and say that's stupid and I'm not doing that. No matter how much they whine, moan, or complain. You have to be a man to stand up and say, no, I'm not doing that. And if you don't like it, I'm gone. We got to be that way. And no, the government should not be raising our kids. A nanny should not be raising our kids. If she was good enough to marry you and she's good enough to take care of your home and take your check and pay the bills, then she's good enough to raise those kids that she said she wanted. Oh, I want to have your baby. And then she has your baby and then she don't want to raise them. I don't care who calls me a male chauvinist pig. You can say G-Man hates women. But the one thing about me is this. You get involved with me, I'm gonna pay the bills. Food is gonna be on the table. And I don't care what I gotta do to do it. Because you're my responsibility. I'm gonna take care of mine. Because that's what a man is supposed to do. And I'm gonna set an example for whoever I'm with to follow. Because that's what a man is supposed to do. You ain't no man if you're yes, dear, yes, dear, yes, dear, yes, dear. And you never make a decision unless she's around. Give me a break. Man up. Make a decision. Like I said, when I was on GP's channel and he brought Love and Happiness on there and he had that other chick on there, I forget her name and whatnot. What was that lady name that was on there? I forget her name. But it was me, GP, Love and Happiness, and some other lady. I forget her name. And I could tell she was hood. I can tell she was hood. I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with that. And that's probably why your man's cheating on you. That's probably why your man's treating you the way he's treating you. That's why a lot of men don't want to get married no more. They don't trust you females. That's why a lot of men don't want to get married. Now, I'm not MGTOW, and I don't agree with MGTOW, but you better believe I understand MGTOW. I will preach against MGTOW because MGTOW advocates for fornication, and I can't do that. MGTOW advocates for adultery. I can't do that. But I do understand where men are coming from on that topic. They will always get empathy from me regarding this particular topic. Because women, like I said, a lot of them don't want to submit, but then they want you to be a man. One of the most annoying things I hear women say, and I might as well say this now in case any of you ever talk to me on Skype. One of the most annoying things I hear them say is, you need to be a man. And this is a feminist saying this to you. They'll say, you need to be a man. Well, then you'll go, well, what exactly is a man? I can't do anything. Or rather, the man would be like, they can't do anything without your approval. Like I said, these are the Lubises, these are the Todds, these are the tatted Jedis, and all these people out there that don't know how to be a man. They don't know how to be a man. They don't know how to let go, man. I think one of the fastest way you can put these women in their place to let them know that they are not that they can be dropped just as fast as anybody else. I'm gonna be a little worldly when I say this here. There ain't nobody coochie that good. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody coochie that good. Learn how to speak up, and for crying out loud, if you know that what she's telling you to do is stupid, don't do it. If you know it's going to hurt the family, don't do it. If it's going to hurt the children, don't do it. If this woman knows what she's talking about and she gives you sound advice, then listen to what she has to say and then act on it. Consider what she says and then act on it. You men are kings. That's how you got to present it. I mean, that's how you got to behave. You are kings. And these women are your queens if you're in a relationship with them. You don't just do it because they said it. You consider what they say, and then you make a final decision. And again, you can look at the animal kingdom. You can look at history between a king and a queen, and you'll see that everything I'm saying is spot on. We men got to take care of our business. And when a woman gives us silly, stupid advice or tells us to do something that's gonna harm the home, don't do it. Like for example, what happened with Eve and Adam when Eve said, "Eat this," and he knew full well that see, for those of you who don't know this, God told Adam himself. God himself said, "Adam, do not eat from this tree." Adam told Eve not to eat from the tree. Eve disobeyed her husband, ate from the tree, and then had the nerve to give him some of the fruit. And instead of him being a man and saying no, he ate from it. And humanity is in a mess that it's in right now. So I just wanted to make this YouTube video and just talk about this a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I said, Volt Tackle was talking about how I got the title of this video wrong. He didn't even know what I was going to be talking about. He doesn't dictate what the title of my videos is and what I'm going to talk about on my own channel. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, we men got to be men. You got to stop listening to all these silly women who think they know what they're talking about. Look at Job, for example. Job's wife told him to curse God and die. What kind of advice was that? What kind of advice was that? Anyway, Job, Job's wife, Job's wife told Job to curse God and die. What if he actually did that? What did that say about Job? You have to recognize when you're getting bad advice and you're being told to do bad things. You need to be a man, pull up your pants, and actually make some smart decisions and act on wise counsel. And because these things are not going on, well, there's a whole bunch of other reasons beside this. And it involves the government. Because one of the other things that's going on is that because a lot of men are not being men and women are forced to raise their children by themselves, the government becomes daddy. The government becomes daddy. So now the child grows up listening to the government and listening to the mother. And you got a child that's going to be a generational welfare recipient and a Social Security recipient. So not only is the woman telling them, "Oh, your daddy was a dog. He was this, that, and the other. Don't listen to him. Don't do this. Don't do that." Then the government comes in. The government's providing money, and now you're following the example of your mother, who wants to live on food stamps for the rest of her life, and that's going to be your ambition when you grow up, to be on food stamps for the rest of your life. The other reason why you can't call yourself a man too, if you got another man providing for your family. If you call yourself a man and there's another man out there providing for your family, you ain't no freaking man and you ain't the boss. For example, let's say you got a man that can't work, right? And you got a wife that's out there doing her best to take care of everything and whatnot, right? And then there's another man in your relationship taking care of everything. How you gonna call yourself a man? There's a lot of this going on in the hood. And I mean a lot of it. There's a lot of it going on. Prophetically, it has to happen. The world is going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. The world is going to be like in the days of Noah before Christ returns. And this is going to be some of the issues that's going to be going on. Disorder in the home. So I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. The man is supposed to be the one working. He makes the final decisions. He is a provider, protector, and priest. While the woman is supposed to be a submissive wife that takes care of the home and the children. A beautiful example of the role of a woman in the Bible, I believe, is found in Proverbs. What is that? The last chapter in Proverbs, where it talks about the virtuous woman. Beautiful chapter on how to recognize when a woman is being a woman and what a virtuous woman looks like, as opposed to these women today that are just cutting men's freaking private parts off and making them act like females. I'm going to do a part 2 to this stream tomorrow. It will be an open show. Everybody will be invited except for people that I got contract videos against, and there's only one person left who has that. So everybody but the contract video person can actually show up in my stream. The moment you come in my room acting like a woman, I'm gonna let you get your little 5 minutes of time, your little 5 or 10 minutes time to speak, and then I'm gonna show you the door. All right, don't come in my room saying I'm a real man. I provide for my family. Meanwhile, we can tell by the way you talk and the way you behave and the way you act that you wouldn't even be on YouTube unless your woman gave you permission to be on here. Because you submit to her, not the other way around. She probably fights all of your battles for you too. Another guy gets in your face, your woman actually does the fighting for you. And you're probably proud of that too, aren't you? Probably real proud of that. And then want to come out here and talk about how much of a real man you are. Whatever. So anyway, open stream tomorrow. We're going to do part 2 of the exact same topic. And I want to hear the opinions of the people out there. I already said everything I wanted to say. So probably tomorrow I won't be saying a whole lot. I'll be doing more listening than anything else. So Christians, non-Christians alike, whatever. this would be a show tomorrow for people to come in, and they can come in and they can talk about this topic. But I truly believe that this is a serious issue that needs to be rectified. One home at a time.